Hi, I'm Andrew. Welcome to the Masterclass on how to get your first kids book written, published and profiting from in a short space of time, so that you too can build an additional stream of income with children's books as a side hustle for you. In this masterclass, we are going to be talking about my simple step-by-step process that allows you to get your book written, illustrated, formatted, published and profiting in a short space of time. First of all though, I'd like to discuss the myths involved in writing. Now, many people think that if you just publish a book, stick it on Amazon, it will sell. Unfortunately, that's not the case. What we will be discussing later as we go through this masterclass is that you will have to do some work. If that's not what you want, if you just want to have a book, put it on Amazon, then this is wasting your time and I would leave the webinar now. Work will be required. But the great thing is, if you do this work, once this asset's been created and you put in 10 minutes a day or a couple of hours a week into this publishing business, you too can earn a good side hustle income, and it works then while you're asleep, generating additional income streams for you and your family while you sleep. But there is work involved. Another myth is that you cannot do it. If I can do it, you can do it. It is really simple. I have messed around, I have lost a lot of time, spent quite a bit of money, pulled my hair out, got really frustrated, but I have identified the steps now that make it easy for me to do, and I'm going to show you this step-by-step process so that you too can do it independently and that you too will then be able to have this additional stream of income. And another myth is that you're not qualified to write a book. I disagree with that statement so much. I struggled with the English language at school, so much so that I failed the language 6 times. Unbelievable. I was told I will not amount to anything if I can't read and write and spell. Well, I could read, I could write, I could spell, just not at the same time or in that order. Nothing seemed to come together in the right way for me. So you too could do this. It is not hard. There are now various tools and assets that are out there free of charge that will greatly help you write, plan, structure, grammatically check your work so that you can do it. I'm going to give you these steps and processes and these tools in this video masterclass as we go on through. So that's the myths. You can do it. You are qualified and you will need to do a bit of work, but once you've done that work, it will be strolling in for you as you go further forward. We're next going to be talking about, in this masterclass, story ideas. I'm going to be then moving on to a bit about the research, and we'll talk about writing and editing the story, how to build the pages, the tools I use for that, and then to format, publish, profit, and then rinse and repeat to go on and do it again and again, so that you build a library of assets that work for you when you are dozing. And as I say, once you've got it up and running, a couple of hours a week in between cups of coffee, you will be able to manage this little side hustle and generate extra income. Now, I started off writing books. For my industry. As an entertainer, I wanted to help other entertainers get better, charge more and improve their marketing. I then shared some of the routines that I'd use in my shows, creating materials like that. This was number one of the side hustle, to generate 10 ways to earn $500 a month from side hustles so that I could be able to have enough income should I be sick or when I get to retirement, or just the fact that I can only be at one event at one time entertaining. I needed additional streams of income. I'd been made redundant, or as they say, I believe in America, let go from 3 jobs in 2 years in a sales and sales management role, and that sales and sales management role meant that I had to build up a pipeline of business, earning a basic salary but a bigger commission. And just as I was getting the commission rolling in, bang, the company was taken over and the direct sales force was let go, and I was out there looking for other work. I fell into being an entertainer whilst looking for something else to do. I generated a good stream of income, but I was relying on one form of income. First of all, I was relying on the birthday party business, so then expanded into other areas, including weddings, trade shows, exhibitions, corporate dinners, and corporate events. And then I realised that if I'm only dealing with that, if I'm unable to attend those events, I'm not earning. So the goal was to go out there and find 10 ways to find $500 a month as additional income streams. It does take work, but it means that I'm earning, preparing for the work in my downtime, and I have that security. The books were the ideal way to get started in that. So as I say, I started off with the entertainment industry. I then expanded into small businesses and helping them sell more, creating the Dominant Brand book, and then a range of 7 or 8 titles for how to sell more easily, more often, and just sell for more. I also was able to create books for my own industry, my clients, Kids Party Survival Guide, fundraising ideas for schools, and somebody said, well, how do you get all this done, Andrew? I've been wanting to write books for ages and you've been knocking them out the door left, right and centre. So I put together a book on how to fight procrastination eventually, and got it done. Then I've been wanting to write children's books for a long time. I had a couple of stories that have been around since my children were babies in my head, and eventually I managed to put them on paper. I learned a lot on how not to do the job and what's wrong with the publishing world. I then went on and created Scruff the Dog and a series of books for Scruff the Dog. My intention is to get to 100 Scruff the Dog books by the end of 2020. That's 50 by the end of 2019 and another 50 by the end of the following year. I'm already up to 7. I think there's 5 there. There's 2 more that aren't on their page. They're on Amazon. But what I'm teaching you here, or showing you here, is that it is quite easy to generate these books simply that look great, sell well, and generate a side hustle income for you. This is the library that I've got. 15 or 16 titles on Amazon now. Clicking away, making sales when I'm snoring or out working or just out walking the dogs. And we're going to be talking about selling more books, selling more to each customer. Well, if you've got more books, you can sell more to each customer. Selling more books is tough. You've got to find a lot of customers to do that, but the more books you have, then you find a great client, they will buy more books from you. Charging more for each book and higher fees means we get rewarded for the work we do. In the publishing world, to charge more, you have to be either a niche product or a household name, and also reducing your costs. This is a great part of what this masterclass process is about. If you reduce your costs, you increase your profits, and I will show you how I've reduced my costs. My first kids book cost me a lot of money. I've managed to cut the cost now down to well under $100 each book produced, and then they're out there and I'm profiting from them far sooner. Live events are a tremendous way of generating extra income on top of your side hustle. Currently, I would say I'm earning in excess of $50,000 a year from live events, just from the nature of being an author, not as an entertainer, though the entertaining does come into it greatly and supports my skills on stage, but we'll talk about that later on. The next part of the master class, step by step, is we're going to be talking about the story ideas, how to generate the story ideas, research, where to go, what to do, and how to research your books, where to get the images, how to write and edit your stories using free tools to check your grammar, spelling, etc. And then we go on to talking about how to build pages, the tools I use for that. All of these are free. And then where to format your book, how to put it on Amazon, publish it and profit, and go on to rinse and repeat to make more books. All done in my downtime. I don't watch the news, I rarely watch television, I watch the occasional film. There is time in my day that I find by staying up an extra hour, getting up an extra hour earlier. Every time I sit down for a cup of coffee, I jot out another story idea, and then it's a case of getting my images together, formatting it, and the job done, and the book is published. Quite simply, easily done. 1 book a week, part-time, whilst having coffee in my own home, and generating a bigger, better side hustles. So let's go on and talk about story ideas. Story ideas. Where do you get your story ideas from, Andrew? Is one of the things I'm frequently asked. Well, character ideas. In my show, I've got a dog called Scruff, an arm puppet, who is a bit daft. And Scruff the dog has now evolved into the Scruff the Dog series. And I've used the character traits from my show, that character I developed in the show, in my stories. You can also use your message. If you're an entertainer, you may be talking to kids about bullying or adoption, things that are close to your heart. That's a great place to start and put a character that the kids love into that role of the bully or the bullied, and you soon quickly come up with a story. You're only looking at 700 to 1,000 words. That's all you need. One of the great ways of me generating story ideas was for me to list major events and memories from my childhood and from my early adulthood when I was at school and the jobs I've had. And I've come up with hundreds of ideas just by sitting there listing major events. My first time in an aeroplane, my first time in a light aircraft, first time in a jet, first time going skiing, first time working in a pig's farm, the experiences of cutting the grass, cleaning the cars, going to the beach, fishing, everything, you name it, I've written it down, falling off a horse. Put all of these down and I can keep coming up with more every time as I'm sitting here now making extra notes. Fell out of a tree whilst collecting horse chestnuts, landed on a barbed wire fence and ripped my backside and my pants, and I had gashes up my backside from the wire fencing. Ouch, was that sore. Not half trying to cycle back home 6 or 7 miles with my mates, standing up and not sitting in the saddle because my backside was sore. Oh dear. Bit of stinging sauce, as we used to call it, from Mum when I got home, and right as rain, but couldn't sit down for a couple of weeks. So again, that moves into a story for the kids. Bit of fun. And then there's emotional stories, happy, sad, ugly, beautiful, funny, painful. What are these things that have happened to you in your life that have generated ideas that you can use for your kids' books? Hobbies, life experiences, cycling, swimming, shooting, flying, diving, reading. You can do all of that. If you like maths, you could be talking about math. Anything that you like as a hobby, whether it's building trains, chasing birds, watching birds, walking the dogs, all of these can be incorporated for story ideas. Very simple to do, very simple structure. Just write out that, list a few words that come with it, and before long you will fill a page of story ideas. What I then did was to try to get to 100. Once I had 100 ideas, I pushed that envelope further and got to 200, 300, and I got up to 500 story ideas, over 500 story ideas now. And I've picked out the ones I enjoy most, and some of them have joined together, come together in the same story, but easily have I got 100 books for Scruff the Dog series. Then once we've done that, we need to move on to the research side. Now the research I use is for images for your character and images for your books. And within the research, I go to depositphotos.com, a tremendous resource of paid for images, and you can use these characters to generate, and you can use these images as backgrounds. You can pick out characters and identify those characters and place those on the backgrounds and write your story around that. With Deposit Photos, I go to depositphotos.com, enter a subject, and I typically add the word cartoon, so cartoon kids, and it comes up with a bunch of children, cartoon characters that I can utilize in my stories. Very simple, very cheap to buy. You can buy them for under $1 each, and with $1 each you may need 30-40 pictures in your book, and you probably only need 40 images in total for your book. Deposit Photos is limiting in the fact that if you are going to do 100 books, you may need to develop your own character, and I have done that, and I'll go into that in a little more detail in a moment, a couple more slides. I did use an illustrator for my first character. This is Harvey the Hedgehog, who rolls himself up in a ball and rolls down the compost heap, catching all the leaves so he wraps himself up when going to bed. Other animals in the garden with squirrels, there's the gardener, and you can see just in the background there them rolling down the compost heap playing games. Unfortunately, illustrators are expensive. I love them to bits, I certainly use them, but you've got to see how to reduce your costs. This is what I'm trying to do here, is if you want to invest in major images, go for it, but that is not necessary. We're trying to reduce your costs and get as many books out the door as you can to build your library of resources, your library of books, so that you generate your side hustle. And depositphotos.com is the way forward. Enter that cartoon kids. There we are, there's the cartoon kids. When you click on one of those images, you get, there we are, a series of 6, and then you can go along the bottom, identify similar images in the same series. If you buy that one image in the middle, you have 6 children that you can use, or 6 characters that you can use in your story, and you've only paid for one image. Fantastic. But what's even better is that you can identify that image that you want, take him out and use him as he is there. We have here a cartoon mummy. I think I typed in cartoon Halloween and I came up with the mummy. And what did I do with that? I then zoomed in and used him in a close-up. You can flip him, you can do all sorts of things. So once you've got an idea of what your mummy does, see how many are in the series, identify those, go back to your story and write your story. And to write your story, there are different methods, but it's very easy to create something called a story mountain. Most stories, whether it's a Star Wars movie or a Disney movie, follow a simple pattern, and it's called a story mountain. Sometimes they use a story circle or the hero's journey, as you may have heard it, but the story mountain is what you need. We're only looking for 700 to 1,000 words, and the story mountain is the ideal way of doing it. We have the introduction, we then build up the story. We have a problem, like the lawnmower won't start. How do we do that? We fix the lawnmower, we get covered in oil, and then we have the ending where he's cutting the grass and the story is done. 600 to 700 words, very easily to do. Then you can edit it in Grammarly. Grammarly.com, it's a free download. You can stick it on your Google toolbar. Then when you come to write your completed story, you put it into an email, the edited version, and Grammarly will check the email before it goes off, and you send it to yourself, but the grammar, the spelling is checked. Once that's done, show it to a friend, get them to read it, and you're there. We have here above the story circle that goes into more details. I've just downloaded this from Google for you. You can have a look at something similar. This is if you're going to write a slightly longer story. The 700 to 1,000 words is all you need for a simple children's book that has 25 to 30 pages, plus end credits, plus beginning, plus calls to action, and there you have written and got a book that will be selling on Amazon, and you can make a couple of dollars or $1 a time in royalty. So once you've written and done the story, say 700 to 1,000 words, editing Grammarly, we move on to building pages. I utilize a tremendous bit of software called Canva, canva.com, free software. It is amazing. You set up your template, get the size for the book that you want, and import the images and utilize some of their backgrounds, pull in the text, get the text right. You need to have the text over a certain size, and it says it in the Kindle version, but I think you're looking at 22 points for your minimum size for the text. For kids, for large print is what we need so that the kids can read it with parents. You bring in PNG images of your characters, and you bring in the backgrounds that you've selected to make your book. And it's a case of drag and drop, edit the words. Also, while you've got it running, good old Grammarly checks that you've made no mistakes as you go along. Just that when you cut and paste and put in the words, that you haven't left the full stop out, or you haven't missed out a letter, or you haven't made a slight error. It's fantastic to have Grammarly running in the background, checking your work. You also need extra pages, a thanks page, a dedication page perhaps, a legal, copyright, etc. And about the author. I have my Illustrator, I've got an Illustrator page, and I've got a few other silly bits and pieces on the back end of the book, which encourage people to go to my website to download free games, additional activities, so that people can follow on from my characters and lead on to buying merchandise as we move on and expand the business. Once you've got all the pages built in Canva, we move on to exporting it. We've got to build the book into the format that we need. So you export all the pages, export the PDF, and arrange the PDF. With Kindle, it doesn't matter how many pages that you have. They charge for the distribution, the size of the file. So once you want to get your PDF, you want the PDF for print, you want to be able to get the image flattened. I drag it in through Adobe just so that I can move the pages around. However, that's not necessary. There are other free file formats that can reduce the size of your PDF images, and once you've arranged those, use the Kindle Kids Book Creator and pull the pages together in the right order. You can move them around within that, and you have your Kindle book ready to be uploaded to their platform. Kindle Print, it used to be called CreateSpace. Amazon CreateSpace is Kindle Print is a print on demand. When you're thinking about your number of pages, printing is done in multiples of 4. If you can imagine a book or a sheet of paper, you've got your left and right page, and you've got the back and the 2 images on the back of the page. So you've got 4 images. So if you end up with multiples of 4, fantastic. If you get 4 plus 1, 5, you end up having paid for 3 blank pages in your book because you pay for the paper. The printing is not affected, it's the fact that you're paying for that extra page. So just think about your book. Can you either take that 5 pages down to 4, well, actual fact you're looking at 25 down to 24 perhaps, or can you take that up to from 24 to 28 or 32 pages? Just think about that as you do your book design. Once we've got that, you pull in the images. Now I've gone for a combination of utilising Scruff the dog cartoon character on normal photographic images, so it's Scruff in the park. So my cartoon character is quite happy in a park situation or in a cartoon character meets the real world situation. That is how I design my books. Once you've got your character, you can utilise him, and you can use those images that you buy 4 times. Have him as the original, you can flip him over. Here I've got a background from Canva. If you want to use their series, they have a bunch of free backgrounds. You can zoom in, and you can use duplicates, crop him as well. So it's the same image, but I've cropped him now, and instead of scratching, he's now, phew, that's smelly and pulling an ugly face. So that's cropped. So I've managed to utilise that image in more than one scene, or more than one idea, more than one emotion, so that I'm getting the most out of that character and the images that I've paid for. You too can do that with the images you either get from depositphotos.com or any other resource, but I'd say type in cartoon and your theme into depositphotos.com. What you need to do is put in the PNG image. This is a JPEG, and a JPEG means it comes with a background. What you need to do is to isolate your image, remove the background so it's transparent, and you end up with a PNG file which is a no background. And then you can either have him on a background as I've got here, or you can stick him in a park situation and utilize the cartoon and the background if that's what your style is. The text colors you can change The text style you can change to suit your book. Times New Roman is an accepted font for reading to kids, so don't go too funky, but no need to go too boring. You can jazz it up a little, because the kids, as long as the kids can read it, and trial and test it, see what you think, see how they go. Get some kids in the local school to read your work, pass it by a teacher, see what they think. I went on to get some images done myself of my own character. You too could do this. Deposit photos is limiting, and hence me generating Scruff the Dog. Because I want to go forward and have 100 books, I needed a good 100 plus images, of which I can utilize those multiple times, i.e. flipped, zoomed, cropped, rotated, etc, etc. So what I did to start with was get Scruff the Dog drawn, showing a bunch of basic emotions or basic actions. Laughing, smiling, sitting, standing on 4 legs, rolling around the floor laughing, sick, singing, jumping, dancing, swimming, barking, eating, and I've gone on to have now over 100 images done. Each one of those is utilised in the books on multiple times. I have invested in those images, but because I've bought so many images, I've managed to keep the costs down to an absolute minimum. And you can start off with 10 or 20 images and have a character designed. What I've also done is have them designed so that I have the images as a JPEG when they're sent to me with the background, a PNG file so that they have a transparent background, but I also have the black and white outline of all these images. So what I can do is I can change the colours myself of the character, so that Scruff the Dog can meet Sally the dog just by changing the colours of Sally, because I've got the black and white outline. And again, the 2 pictures could be side by side, 2 different coloured dogs both playing guitars, and I've created a small band of dogs playing and singing very simply because I've managed to buy that one image in different formats. You're looking at probably $250 US to get a character design and 10 to 15 images of your basic character. Without backgrounds, you add more cost considerably if you're adding backgrounds to all your images, so hence me utilizing depositphotos.com at less than $1 each, and I can once I've bought a series of backgrounds, I can use those multiple times, zoom in, flipped, rotated, cropped. So yes, you can invest in a character if you wish, or you can, as I say, utilize what's available on depositphotos.com. You will be surprised when you have a look. There are thousands and thousands of images that you can utilize to get your first stories working. Once you've done that, we start to build the pages. You've got to decide what your book size is. When you Kindle, you just need to go for an ebook fitting. If you're printing the book, you need to decide whether you're going to have it the same size or go for 8 by 10 or bigger. Kindle provides you with sizes of standard sizes. You decide what book size you want. You then insert that book size into canva.com, set a template, and then start making your pages. You bring in the PNG images, export those images as PDFs. When you're done, you get your cover design. You can either design your own cover or you can pay someone to do it. The cover is a very important part of your book. That's the thing that shows up on Amazon. That's what makes people buy your book. Obviously keywords, etc. help people to get there, so good cover design is important. If you don't want to pay out for having your own cover design it yourself in Canva by doing the research and looking at other books in your genre. See the #1 bestsellers, pick the top 100, have a look through those, look at the covers that stand out and see how you can adapt those ideas so that your book stands out as theirs does. Don't forget, you need your extra pages, the thanks page, the dedication, legal, copyright, etc. about the author. You will need to get your Amazon author page set up as well, and with that Amazon author page we'll put a video up there of the video promotion of your books and a little video from you to your readers. It all helps Amazon sell your books for you. and you export those images as a PDF, and you build the book and format the book in the free tools that Kindle provide. Format and publishing, you put your PDF images into the Kindle, use the free Kindle Books Creator. Download the software free from Kindle, your KDP paid. It is like an app. You put it on your desktop, you pull in the PDF images and then export it, .mobi file I think, and you export that file to your desktop. As you upload the book, you fill in the keywords, the description, you upload a cover, contents, etc. And with the Kindle Books Creator, you can put hyperlinks into that image. Extra images can pop up, or links to websites, so that you can help sell more books or sell more content and merchandise in the background. Fantastic tool. Kindle is a great little gadget. Kindle has unlimited pages. They charge you for the delivery of the file, so you need to flatten the file, flatten the images, so you're not going to have too big a file that goes off to the Amazon buyer, and you get your costs down as low as practically possible, and you make as much profit as possible. And you'll probably sell your book for $2.99 to start with. Kindle Print, I mentioned, it used to be called CreateSpace. There are additional steps. You've got the multiples of 4. Setting up the book cover is different, and they need different file. They need a PDF file to upload in. They have other files, but PDF I found is the best way of doing it. I download a template from the Kindle Print and utilize that file to pull my pages together, pulling in the images in the right order, and at the end of that I export that as a PDF file to my desktop, and when I'm ready I upload that to the Kindle Print. So you have to enter the book twice, but once it's up there it's done. With Kindle Print, the book cover, you design that yourself. You've got the back and the spine. Most of the kids' books don't have spines because they're not big enough, so you need to design the back cover. I use the templates they have online. That is a great way of keeping the costs down. I've drafted for the back of the book an About Andrew, a couple of calls to action. So I have not only an About Andrew, I have a call to action where people can go to the website to download free games such as colouring in sheets or a word search, and in exchange for their email, so that once they've bought from me I can then remind them or let them know when a new book has come out. Great way to keep in contact. Now with Kindle book covers, just a JPEG is required. With the Kindle Print you need to import that JPEG into the template online, as I say, to do that. Have a look at the designs of the best-selling books in your category. But the great thing about Amazon and the KDP Kindle platform is that you can test things. Test. Come up with a book design, come up with a cover, stick it on your social media, test it. When you stick it on Amazon, you can change the cover of the book at any time. There is no cost whatsoever for you. If, like my first book, you print off 1,000 copies and you don't sell 1,000 copies of your book, you will be doing as I do, tripping over them. My wife curses every time she goes into the garage, as all these books are in the way and she's tripping over them, stubbing her toe. It costs me a lot of money to have these boxes of books that I'm still paying for storage for, as I've yet to sell. I'm giving them away because it's better to give them away. It's promoting the book and my services is by far the best way than to have a garage full of books. But Amazon, it's print on demand. The Kindle Print version is that you print on demand, so when somebody orders, it takes 2 or 3 days before the book is shipped, but once the order comes in, it goes through the printer, out pops the completed item, gets posted, and then that's when you get paid and notified that your book is on its way. So test. Once you've uploaded all your files to it, there is a 72-hour period for Amazon to check over your work to check that it fits with the guidelines, that you are within the print guidelines, or that you are not providing stuff that's against their rules, such as adult material. So very quickly can you get a new book up and out the door and profiting from those sales. We've talked about the story ideas, research with depositphotos.com, write the story, edit it using Grammarly, build pages with Canva, export those as PDF images, format and publish it using the tools available that Kindle provide, and then rinse and repeat. But I've forgotten to mention promoting and profiting. I did talk about it briefly, but once you've got your book out there, as you're getting near, start getting social. Talk about it on your social pages, your social media, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. Let people know that you are there. Amazon author page, I mentioned that earlier. You can put a bit about the author, and then as your books become available, you can pull them in so that they feature alongside your lovely image. YouTube videos. Make a YouTube sales video for your book, and as I do, I make a YouTube video for my books, and I'm forming a channel which will have 100 videos of all the Scruff the Dog books. There is a simple process of creating a YouTube video. It's much like reading the books aloud. Don't need to do anything too difficult, and with your YouTube channel you are generating extra ways for people to find you as they search for YouTube videos. Amazon videos, put some of the sales videos there, put a couple of the YouTube videos up on Amazon. It will greatly help your Amazon sales, because Amazon like this in their algorithms. They will help promote your books. Fantastic, because the more they sell, the more they make. So they're there to help, and they will then show those images and those videos to people who are buying similar books to help you sell more books. Fantastic. Don't forget to use keywords, and a couple of secrets here, but utilize other authors in your genre as keywords. It's a great way. It's still allowed to be done within Amazon. They're quite happy for that. It helps them understand your genre. As long as you don't abuse the situation, you will help find extra sales by being similar to other popular authors in your genre. Quality cover. Do try and get a quality cover. If you don't want to do it yourself, pay a designer. You can find great designers on Fiverr.com, Upwork.com for your book covers. I can share with you my own cover designer and other designers I've used. But if you want to keep your costs down, learn to do it yourself by identifying great designs, the #1 best-selling books, and make the covers designs on Canva. Test them, see how they work, tweak them, move them around, change the colours, and you will be quite surprised at how easy it is to do yourself. Then once you've got your book up there going, the Kindle allows you to do deals. They do countdown deals, free deals, build up, let people know on social media that you're going to be offering your book for free. Do countdowns, reduce the price over 5 days. It's a great way of generating interest and getting the algorithms to start ticking away in your favour. And the more books you've got up there, when they've looked at one book, people who buy your book will be shown other books that are available. People who've got the keywords right, if you go to a similar genre keyword, your books will be flashed up in front of other people buying, because people who also bought, looked at, etc. etc. Great way of Kindle and Amazon helping you sell books. With Kindle Print, get some copies from Amazon. You can get them at an author discount and give them away. I'll talk about that when we come to live events. We are talking now about selling more books. If you've got more books to sell, you will sell more books. Finding more customers is tough to do. If it was easy, we'd all be millionaires. The more books you have to sell, the easier it is to sell more books. Simple, really. One book, you will hang around in obscurity and anonymity forever. 10 books, you will start to affect the algorithms within Amazon, and they will sell your books for you. Selling more books helps if you've got more books to sell. So with that, you sell more to each customer, and you sell more books to individuals. It's a spiral, it keeps going on. So a series of books really, really works well and supports your growth and gives the potential sales to the same customer. I know I buy more books from an author I like. I buy probably the whole series. If you like an author, you read all of his books. Charge more for each book. It helps if you put your prices up. You know I'm a strong believer in putting your prices up, but you may sell fewer books. Amazon allows you to sell your books up to $9.99 in the Kindle. Beyond $9.99, the percentages change, and if you sold it for $10.99, they will only give you a maximum royalty of 35% instead of the 70%. Pricing is important. With the print book, you can sell for anything up to $250, but again, that needs to be a niche product into a niche market, or alternatively, you need to be a household name. Reducing your costs in itself means that you will increase your profits. Once you start to reduce costs in anything, you will increase your profits. That's the whole form of business. To do that, you need to master the art of writing, publishing, promoting and profiting from each of your kids' book. This is what this masterclass is here to do, to help you do that process. And live events. This is my favourite way of generating extra income. It's my favourite way of generating extra sales. It does mean I'm there performing at a live event, but it's an additional income stream over and above my 10 times 500 side hustle. It is part of my entertainment business, yet it is a great way to meet your audience. You're seen by your audience in schools, libraries, independent bookshops. They are your target audience. You find more customers. You are paid to speak at schools. What a great way. One customer of a school could mean $250 to $500 for an assembly or a full day workshop. Give away a few books gets you through the door. One new customer can mean $500 to me at a school, but it means I could be in front of anywhere between 250 and 1,000 children who will go away and buy my books. It's fantastic. They can get them from the school library. I give away a few free samples, but they can buy my book. They can go ahead and buy my merchandise. Schools are great because when you're there with the kids, they will give you ideas in a Q&A. What is Scruff going to do next? Who would Scruff do? I've got a Scruff the Dog travel series coming. I can't wait to find out where he will go next by asking the children in my audiences where they would like him to go. I live in Hong Kong, and a lot of children here are international kids. They travel all over the world, and they are privileged to go on holiday in many locations. They tell me, how about going to Vietnam? How about him eating so-and-so food? What a great way. Kids give feedback. Kids give you great story ideas. And because I'm in schools, I am generating a celebrity status amongst my audience, the locals. Doesn't mean to say I'm a Kardashian. It means I'm famous within my school playgrounds that I'm attending. People talk about me. I have fun at the school. And that means I could sell more books for more money. Celebrity status pays so well and boosts your book sales. Superb way. Live events earns me in excess of $50,000 a year over and above my book sales. Obviously, it's not really a side hustle because I have to be there, but it generates sales in the books in the long term. It is not passive income. It is an additional stream of income. Work is required. I can only be at one event at a time. There are peaks and troughs within my industry. Holiday season means I could be busy, or it means I could be quiet, depending on the market. My trade show business as an entertainer is very quiet in the holidays, but the Christmas parties are busy. If I am sick, I have recently twisted and hurt my back by stepping off a 6-inch stage. Very simple thing to do. Came off, ouch. Had a bit of trouble, could have laid me up for a lot longer. Fortunately, it was the last show of a weekend and I was fit and ready for the following weekend. But sickness could affect me. This is an additional stream of income to help me if I'm unable to work. It means that I can start by getting debt-free. I'm now debt-free, and I've now got a property portfolio building up as one of my 10 ways to generate $500 a month. It becomes a pension fund. And as an entertainer, I have the advantage that I like schools. You don't need to be an entertainer to have an advantage. You need a bit of personality on stage, but you do not need to be an entertainer to write kids' books. Please, please, please feel confident in your own ability to write stories. Write stories that are fun, write stories that you enjoy, write stories that you say to your own kids. Utilize those stories and develop a range of books so that you have a library of assets that will generate additional streams of income, a side hustle for you. I hope that this masterclass has been really useful for you. I'm here to answer any questions. Please drop me an email, put some comments or messages in the comments below. I am here. I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I really want to help you succeed as an author. Utilize this as a side hustle. I have managed to get 20 books published in the last 2 years. I've now mastered this process so that I can get a book a week out the door up on Amazon in my part-time. It's very simple to do, and this, I hope, is what this masterclass is going to help you understand. You can build your additional streams of income from that. I'm dedicated to helping you achieve this. There are additional resources available at kidsbookprofits.com where you can download all the slides from this presentation and work through that. I also have available a book on how to publish a children's picture book for under $100. Utilize this and you can build your own library of resources that's going to generate income for you. Building this library can be done on a part-time basis of just a couple of hours a day. For those of you who are interested, I have developed the Kids Book Profits Academy, and I am here to help you with your very first book. The idea is at the end of your first book, you will have the skills involved completely so that you can go forward and duplicate and recreate the process multiple times and get to 20 books in 12 months. That will be a fantastic goal if I could get you to do that. To do that, I have created, for those who wish to work and need some extra support, the first book course, and it goes through a step-by-step process which goes from all the images, the story ideas, and I hold your hand as you go through all of this. Everything from the formatting, editing, publishing, some promoting secrets, and profiting, so much more. It's done by over-the-shoulder video training. I have a membership site that gives you lifetime access. You get a copy of my book, plus a workbook for stories as you go, and all this for just $497, a single payment of $497 US. But there's more. As a bonus, I'm going to let you hang on to my shirt tails and benefit from my own marketing. You get your own video. I will help you and show you how to create your own promotional video, which we will then put as a featured book on my YouTube channel, which will be generating extra leads for you as we go. So as my audience grows, so will your audience. And as you build your library, you can transfer to your own YouTube channel. But in the early stages, you may want to be hanging on to my shirt tails to get extra books, and I'm going to give you this at no extra charge. So your featured book will be on our new YouTube channel. If you get stuck at any time in the process, I'm here to help you with 2 30-minute Skype calls. The secret Facebook group is there to help you. 20 books in 12 months, that's the goal. Everyone in the group, we focus on getting your books written, published, and promoting and profiting for you as quickly as possible in your spare time. This is a side hustle. I also give you unlimited email support. That in itself, those last 3 are value of well over $900, but that's just $497 to you. or 6 payments of $97. But I've got more for you. I don't just want to give you that, I want to help you grow your business, your publishing business. So with your first book, your first kids book, you get your workbook, your membership site, your featured book and video. It's $497. I'm going to give you a bonus of live event training. All you need to do, the step-by-step process on what to do, how to get into schools and libraries, independent bookshops, book fairs, assembly content, question and answers, lesson plans, workshops, puppets, music, sound systems, emails, the emails I use to get into schools, care packages, the way I get into schools, make schools remember me, stand out from my competition, and fundraising opportunities. That, to me, has generated more than $50,000 in the last 12 months. That bonus is included within the course. Bonus number 2, non-fiction books. You saw at the beginning I started off writing non-fiction books. You too may have a message that you want to share with the world. There is a step-by-step process getting your message out there. The research, the 5 W's, the structure, the 4 whys, why people want to buy, why you should be talking to people. I go into that in huge depth. Free tools that help you write the book, format the book, get it done quickly, how to write a book quickly. Additional pages, the editing, the publishing, the promoting. It's covered in the course, but there's additional things for non-fiction books in promoting and how to stand out so that your book is read. I have spent over $10,000 in learning this information, and that will save you a huge amount of time. I'm giving to you that within the package. The bonus number 3, I talked to you about storytelling. Domains, the story mountain, story ideas. What's that worth to you? I have no idea, but it's there to help you grow your publishing business, your side hustle. Don't forget 2 30-minute Skype calls, the access to the Facebook group, and unlimited email support. And those themselves are worth $900, and it's just $497, 6 monthly payments of $97. I'm here to help. I would love to offer this for less. My wife says I should be charging way more. I would love to offer this for less. My wife says I should be charging way more. The value here is the fact that I'm working with you one-to-one to give you the skills so that you can build your side hustle. It will take a lot of input from me to get you through up and independent, and I need to put in the work to help you achieve the results that you deserve. So 6 payments of $97. So you've got your first book at $497. You've got bonus number 1, live event training. Bonus number 2, non-fiction books. Bonus number 3, storytelling. But there's more. Bonus number 4, speed writing tips. How to write quicker. How have I managed to write 20 books in 2 years? How have I managed to get my non-fiction books completed? Speed writing. There are tips and techniques out there where you can write a non-fiction book in a weekend. Yes, I give you everything that you need to work to get that your non-fiction book created, all included within the package. Bonus number 5, finding an illustrator. I go into how to find an illustrator. I will give you my illustrator if that's what's best suited for you. I will give you her details. You can work with her and develop your cartoon characters, or I can show you what to do and how to find an illustrator that's best suited for you and that will work for you. The pitfalls of finding an illustrator that will respond to your queries, an illustrator who will actually get the work done to your deadline. All of this is included within bonus number 5. And bonus number 6, merchandise. Where and how to create merchandise without investing anything in stock yourself. Get Amazon to deliver it for you. All easily done. A great little PDF of tips and advice there for extra income into your side hustles. You can go to kidsbookprofits.com. I'm there to help you. all of this for just $497, a single payment, or 6 times 97, 6 monthly payments of $97. And don't forget, you get your 2 free Skype calls, your Facebook group where I'm there every day helping you get more books written, published and profiting quickly. Unlimited email support. I'm there to help you. If you need an extra Skype call, I will give that to you to help you succeed. I really want to help you master the art so that you can create your own independence with this side hustle. Well, thank you very much. If you've got any questions, please reach out to me. Andrew@kidsbookprofits.com for email. Drop a message in the comments below. And if you want some extra help and want to work with me, please feel free to see the link below and click on the link and you'll be taken to the membership site, and we can get started straight away at getting your side hustles created. That's all for now. I look forward to hearing from you and working with you for your own financial independence. Thanks. Bye for now.